Hi everyone, welcome to Border Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie and this is the Type 64. The Type 64 featuring my old mate the Flying Elite. And of course the Flying Elite is platooned up with Zinth in his T37 and Scrubber from FlexClan in the VK2801. In this game, the Flying Elite is on a mission to spot at least 3 enemy artilleries and cause damage or critical hits to them. And if you can destroy an enemy arty that's a tier higher than his vehicle, he gets a secondary condition. And in this lineup, you can see it's certainly possible. There's a GW Tiger on the enemy side and 2 tier 6 artillery. So he needs to spot all 3. Does he need to spot them? He does. And cause damage or critical hits to them. Now, in this game on Prokhorovka, it's an encounter battle. This is a double shot of tier 6 action. The second game won't feature another Chinese or a premium tank. It'll be the T37. I'm just trying to clean up some of the patch 9.17.1 replays that I've got on my hard drive. They're down by a tank and the enemy are capping, but there's plenty of friendly tanks in the area. Now, Flying Elite showing great restraint, not shooting, because that MT25 in the middle of the map could quite comfortably light him if he does get spotted. So he's requesting fire at the tier 6 French tank destroyer and gets killed by the Su-12244, the tier 7 Russian tank destroyer. 1-all the score now. The Flying Elite's on 645 spotting damage. Now this game does get pretty quickly, so I encourage you not to blink and lest you miss out on any action. Now, of course, in encounter battle, if the enemy team are capping you and you roll a track onto the cap circle, the cap just stops, and that's what's happened right now. Now, of course, he's double bushed here, so the MT25 can't see him, and he nearly killed the MT25, but Zinth in the T37 did it for him, which is very, very helpful. 3-2's the score. 347 damage, 751 damage blocked. He moves forward to try and shoot the Churchill, confident that none of the unspotted tanks are in a position to spot him. It looks like all the enemy light tanks are around here. The OIs were last spotted going up towards the hill, so he doesn't have to worry about the OIs one-shotting him. The score's on 4-3. 12.5 minute mark. Those artilleries have still not been lit, but you can see the IKV-90B starting to move forward, the tier 7 Swedish tank destroyer. So Flying Elite's thinking, hang on, my job here is to spot 3 enemy artilleries for starters and then put some damage into them. So looking at what's left, the IS-2 and the Tiger 1, you wouldn't think they would be down here. You'd think they'd be up the hill. Nobody's spotted the hill. So the Flying Elite not stuffing around, going straight down to where he thinks the artillery may be. You can see he's got APCR loaded. He doesn't want to stuff any shots up on these. Even though they're lightly armoured artilleries, the GW Panther at tier 7 for an artillery is very, very well armoured. The German artillery pieces got a lot more armour than anyone else. 5-4's the score as he's lit up the IS-2, and have a look. That's disgraceful for a top tier heavy tank. And he's also seen the Hummel, so he puts a shot into the Hummel, another one. His mate kills it. Looks like he's not spotted. So we want to chip away at that IS-2. We've got to get rid of him. 8-4's the score. He missed out on a shot there because he thought he was going to keep backing up, but he's chipping away at the tier 7 heavy tank. So he spotted and damaged the Hummel. Just 2 to go. The AMX-13 F3 and the GW Panther. GW Panther's certainly got some damage on the board. Puts a shot towards the OI. Hasn't quite realised that he's lit that GW Panther, I don't think. Rather just wants to chip away at the OI, who can sort of derp anyone. He'll be hoping that no one kills the GW Panther, or maybe he didn't realise at the time. Takes the OI down to 155 health, and Zinth picks up the kill as the Flying Elite needs to start moving forward on this GW Panther and then go hunting for the AMX-13 F3 if he wants to pick up a reward, personal mission. Sees the toaster tank, puts one shot into him and gets killed by the Su-12244, the big tier 7 Russian TD. And it's just the 2 arties left, so he needs to spot them both and shoot them both. There's one of them, puts one shot into the GW, puts 2 shots. Oh, he needs to turn around and shoot the Frenchie. Picks up the kill on the G-Dub, aims and shoots. That'll be the mission done. And of course, because he killed that tier 7, not only did he get the mission done, he got the mission done with honours, as you can see in his description of the post-game battle results. LT set 4 with honours, the one where you've got to spot and damage at least 3 enemy artilleries. Not only did he do that though, he picked himself up an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge for that little effort in the premium Chinese Tier 6 light tank, the Type 64. The Spotter Bruiser, 5 for effect for doing more damage than the weight of his, or the hit points of his tank. And the Confederate for shooting more enemy tanks than anybody else, even after that slow start. Top scored with experience on 1194. Just got second to Zinth for damage. Zinth had a brilliant game, 5 kills for just under 2,000 damage in the T37. Flying Elite, 1865 hit points of damage. He fired 26 shots, 21 hit, 17 went through, and that was enough for an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, along with the 2,133 hit points of spotting damage. And of course, being a premium tank in a premium account, you don't do too badly in the old credits department, 61,000 credits after tax with a premium account. As we move on to this second game of this double shot of tier 6 light tank action, this is on a map which you may not think a light tank would do too well in. It's a tier 7 game. There's only 3 tier 7s on Monash's side. This replay sent to me from MonashSQ from Banff Clan. 3 tier 7s on his side, 4 on the enemy side. And look, you wouldn't think a tier 6 light little T37 to do too well, but there's plenty of tanks on the enemy side that he could do damage to. Even from the top, that SU-152 if he gets his side, the Oni if he gets the side, and even the IS-2 if he gets to his side, he'll be able to chip away at these enemy tanks. He is on a mission to do 5,000 spotting damage. I don't think he does that in this game, not from memory, but he's on Pilsen. He wants to have a red hot go anyway. He's just having a look, trying to be in a position where he can support the more heavily armoured medium tanks that push forward, such as there's an M7 up there that's got a little bit of armour, but he's in a tier 7 game. The other T37 on Monash's side. The M7 picks up the kill on the enemy T37. Very handy tank to get rid of, even though it's a light tank. A lot of people sort of dismiss light tanks, but in a matchup like this, when you're tier 6 in a tier 7 game, light tanks can really run havoc on the enemy tanks. Artillery smashes the M5A1 Stewart, the tier 4 light tank, but still an even ball game. No, the Grill picks up another kill. How many artilleries in this game? 2. Both artilleries picked up a kill pretty quickly, as Monash has auto aims at the Sherman 3, gets spotted, but of course the T37 has a pretty good rate of fire, lucky enough to bounce a shot from the VK30-01P and puts a shell into him just to let him know that he knows that he's there, and then it's time to move. 1 kill so far. He's going to be looking for some more. That VK wants him to poke. I don't think he's going to, so he's going to move forward with the other T37 and the Little Looks tank pushing the northeast flank. KV1 on his way slowly, so he probably needs to bear in mind that that KV1's going to take a little while to get there. He puts 1 shell into the VK. He's going to get another one before he shoots him. He does, and picks up his second kill. 5-2 the score now. 5,531 hit points of damage, and a little bit of assisted, a little bit blocked as well, which is not too bad for a light tank. Starts chipping away at the STRV M42, the Stridsvagn from Sweden. The medium tank picks up his 3rd kill of the game, 6-4 now. And looking at the mini-map, looks like a lot of the enemy tanks are in here, and they're the more heavily armoured tanks. And of course, when you're in a little light tank, it's not your job to really take on those heavily armoured tanks. It's your job to chip away at the other ones, and then maybe have a crack at the more heavily armoured ones a little bit later on. 8-4 the score. He's just clicked over 1,077 hit points of damage. He thought he might have had another shot at those tank destroyers, but that wall was not destructible. And now is time to move again. Still on full health, MonashSQ from Banff Clan. 680 hit points still up his sleeve as he starts moving around towards the cap. He won't want to cap this one out with the score on 8-4. He'll want to get some more damage and turn this great game into an absolutely awesome one, as he looks at the IS-2. Moving around like a man possessed, because his life does depend on it. He gets spotted back there behind those buildings, and maybe it's time to change the angle as the enemy tanks are starting to cap him out. He's saying, no, I can't do this. I've got to get back here. I don't want to be capped out when I'm winning on 9-6 and I've picked up 3 kills on 1,077 damage. Plenty more to come. You don't want to get capped out in that situation. The little French tank destroyer, the ARL V39, gets taken out by the T3485. Looks like they're no longer going for the cap. Looks like the Oni's coming back. The PZ4H may be going back for the cap, but he's slow enough, or I should say MonashSQ in his T37's quick enough to get back there if he needs to. But for now, it's going to circle jerk this IS-2, just troll him a bit, chip him down. He'll be hoping somebody else comes to help here as he cops 236 damage from the Chinese one or the Russian one. I wasn't quick enough to see. 12-7 the score now. Enemy tanks falling like you wouldn't believe. 3 kills, 1561 damage, 11 blocked and 263 assisted in the little T37 on Pilsen. 12-8 the score now as 2 of the friendly tanks go down. Banff looking at this Panzer 4H. That's the one he wants to get rid of. The Panzer 4H duffs the shot, but MonashSQ, pardon me, from Banff Clan picks up the kill on the German medium, and that Oni is looking elsewhere. So this is what light tanks are good at, shooting when enemy tanks are distracted. That's 5 kills for Monash. 1 more would be absolutely awesome, and he's still got the health. He could probably brawl with this AMX ELC. The tier 5 light tank puts a shot into him. Looks like he's distracted by the other T37, who is a one-shot for him, and he shoots him and ammo racks him for the 6th kill and the top gun. And have a look, guess what? It was an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge as well. Also picked up the Bruiser Demolition Expert for that ammo rack on the AMX at the end. The fire for effect, high caliber, and of course the top gun. And he absolutely top scored again. Didn't look like he was that dominant, but he was. 2,201 damage, 6 kills, 1241 base experience in a tier 7 game. And yet again, nobody on his team did 1,000 hit points of damage. 2 on the enemy. That Oni had a pretty good game, 2,061 damage. And the IS-2 probably did okay with 1,310, but nobody else on the enemy side, and certainly not on his side, really stood up. Plenty in the 6, 7, 800 mark, but not much else. Made a little bit of coin with a standard account, 2,000 credits, but it's the Ace Tanker. That's what he wants in his little T37. The tier 6 American light tank. Thanks for the replays, lads. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care and see you all next time.